Hey guys, it's Sophia Lasley. Welcome back to my channel. I just recently got a tonsillectomy, as you can see by the title of this video. This video is basically going to be a rundown of my recovery experience from day 1 of surgery to day 17 today. And I've been documenting my experience throughout this whole healing process. I've been taking videos every day. I couldn't talk for like the first 8 days, so I took notes so I could tell you guys about it. I just want to be able to share my experience because before I got my tonsillectomy, I was researching, trying to mentally prepare because apparently adult tonsillectomies are like literally death. So I wanted to be mentally prepared, so I looked up a bunch of videos, a bunch of articles, and I figured, you know, since everybody's experience is different, may as well share mine so you can get another idea of what your experience might be like if you're going through a tonsillectomy. And I hope you are if you're watching this video. So let's just roll right into it. Here's a clip of me before the surgery. Basically, the reason I'm getting a tonsillectomy is because my tonsils, they're pretty big. I've been getting tonsillitis like 2-3 times a year, which isn't that much. Usually people get it like 5-6 times a year to get a tonsillectomy. But also on top of my tonsillitis, tonsillitis issues. Sorry, it's 7:30 a.m. I'm like out of it. I never wake up this early. But outside of that tonsillitis issue, I also get like strep throat throughout the year. I get sick like constantly. And I also have this like year-round nose issue where I'm constantly blowing my nose at least like 4 or 5 times a day. I got breathing problems and my doctor said it might be due to my tonsils. So I figured, you know, let me just take these out, get rid of them. They're causing me problems. And even if it doesn't help my nose problem, at least it will help me stop getting tonsillitis, because if you're watching this video, you already know tonsillitis is literally the worst. So not trying to do that again. But yeah, so hopefully this nose problem that I have also goes away, because I've had this problem since I was 9. I literally can never breathe. I'm walking around with tissues all the time because like mucus is just flowing out of my nose and it's disgusting. So let's hope this works. So when I got to the hospital, they put me in my room after I filled out all the paperwork and stuff like that. And they gave me like an outfit to change into, one of those like dresses or whatever. And they also gave me these stockings. So the stockings, they were like half stockings that came up to like the knee. And they were like really tight. And they wanted me to keep those on for 24 whole hours after the surgery, because apparently like when you get anesthesia, you have a high chance of getting blood clots in the legs. So they wanted me to keep those on, so I was wearing those. After I got changed, I was just sitting there and a nurse came by and she hooked me up to an IV and she gave me Tylenol, and she also gave me, I think, some anxiety medication, because I guess people like freak out before the surgery, so she wanted me to calm down. She said the anxiety medication would make me like act drunk and crazy, but it just made me really sleepy, so I was just sitting there like. My surgeon came around and he was just like giving me the rundown of like what the procedure is going to be like and all of that stuff. And I know some tonsillectomies, I don't know if people still do this, but some tonsillectomies, they like slice them out and like stitch them back up. But my surgeon was doing, I think it's like the welding procedure. So he was like burning my tonsils off and like burning the wound closed. I think that's the most common like procedure now. So he was just explaining that to me. Then my anesthesiologist came around and was explaining some other stuff to me about how that's gonna go down. And basically I was just waiting there for like maybe like 2 hours, and then eventually they rolled me into the surgery room and they put like a mask over my face, and I remember I was like coughing like crazy, and then all of a sudden I wake up in another room and I was like shivering, like I was freezing. Like I remember I woke up, I was like barely opening my eyes like this, and I was just shaking. So if you've never been put to sleep before or gotten anesthesia or anything like that, it's not scary at all. Like literally I was coughing in the surgery room, and then all of a sudden I was just awake in another like room. It's literally like snap of a finger quick. Like you don't even, it's over before you even knew that anything was happening. But I woke up and I was really cold, so they like brought me a blanket, and I think I was at the hospital for another like half an hour, 45 minutes before they let me go. I just wanted to make sure I was like stable enough, and like they checked all of my vitals and stuff like that, and then they released me. My mom was waiting there with me the whole time, and then she pulled the car around and they wheelchaired me to the car, and they let me keep a blanket because I was literally freezing. Yeah, so I got in the car and I was just feeling really drowsy. Like if you see in the clip right now, like I just look so tired. I just felt like really spacey and tired, and like I think I fell asleep in the car on the way home, and it was only like a 30-minute drive, but I was just out. Like
the anesthesia was still in me, and they said I was a fall risk, so after you get anesthesia, you're at risk of just falling over for 24 hours because, you know, like you're still like tired, the drugs are still in your system. So obviously, like, I couldn't go anywhere that day, but my mom wanted to make sure that I ate something because the night before surgery, I went to this like ball and the food was trash, and I ate like a little bit of it, and then I felt like I was gonna throw up, so I didn't eat for the rest of the night. And so I stopped eating the night before surgery around like 7 or 8 o'clock. So my mom was like, you need to get food in your system before you take like the medicine that they gave you and blah blah blah. So we went to a smoothie place and I got a smoothie, and I tried not to get anything like super acidic in it, so I got like bananas, and I think I got banana, papaya, and mango with apple juice. I tried drinking that, and swallowing was like, it didn't hurt because I still had like the pain medication from the surgery in me, but like it hurt a little bit. It was just like uncomfortable. It just felt like something was blocking my throat, and it was just hard to swallow. And I tried to drink some water, and then I went to go take my meds. So they told me when I got home to just immediately take pain medication. Even if I'm not in pain, just take it anyways, because once the pain hits, it's a wrap. They were really stressing that this was gonna be one of the most painful experiences I ever had. So I was real stressed, and they were like, when you get home, take the pain medication immediately. So obviously when I got home, I tried to drink some of the smoothie. I drank like this much, and then my throat started hurting. Then I tried to drink some water, and then my throat started hurting. So I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna take my medicine and lay down. So the medicine that they gave me was liquid hydrocodone. That was my pain medication. They also gave me a mouthwash, a numbing mouthwash called like Magic Mouthwash or something. And they also gave me a nausea tablet. It's like a melt in your mouth tablet, just in case, because apparently people get really nauseous sometimes after tonsillectomies. So they gave me that just in case. I tried to use the Magic Mouthwash, and it's just so thick, and like gargling after the surgery was so painful and uncomfortable, and I just felt like I was gonna drown. So I didn't like using that. I used it like once or twice, and then I just stopped using it completely. But the hydrocodone, I had to take that every 6 hours. I ended up taking it every 5 hours because every time it hit 5 hours, it was a wrap. Like, pain was back, I couldn't deal with it. So I took all my medicine day 1, and then I went to sleep because I had nothing else to do. And I basically like slept all day, and occasionally I would wake up and go downstairs, and like, I couldn't talk. Like, I would try to talk, but it came out like, and it was just too painful. So I was just like, I'm not gonna strain my voice. I'm just gonna stop talking. I would just like mime to my mom when I needed something, and then like text her if I really need to say something like longer than a. And I realized day 1, like sometimes I would have to like bend down to get stuff, or when I was walking around or whatever. But whenever I would bend over or squat or anything that had to do with like changing elevation, my throat would feel like really weird. Like my breath would catch, and I feel like I have to like cough. And coughing when recovering from a tonsillectomy is not an option. Like, no, do not cough. At all costs, do not cough, do not sneeze, none of that stuff, no. So like every time that would happen, I would just take a deep breath and try to like calm myself down so I wouldn't cough. But yeah, bending over and stuff like that was just making me feel like I needed to cough. So I'm reading the notes that I took that day, and at 11 p.m. I said, my throat feels a lot more raw than earlier now when I swallow, but it isn't unbearable, hoping it doesn't get to that point. So I'm gonna go to sleep. It was hurting more, but it wasn't terrible, so I went to sleep afterwards. In all the videos that I watched, everyone always had like a humidifier next to their bed, because you're supposed to make sure you stay super hydrated, but also drinking water is hard, so that's gonna be difficult. But another thing that helps to keep your throat moist is having a humidifier in your room. So luckily my sister had a humidifier, so I took it, and I had it next to my bed every night throughout this process. So my essentials were obviously my medication, my humidifier, and my Vaseline or chapstick or whatever you use, but I was using Vaseline. My lips were dumb dry. Like, my lips recently recovered from this. Like, they were peeling significantly. But yeah, that's what you're gonna need. Now on to day 2. The way my throat was hurting day 1 felt similar to how your throat feels when you have a cold and your throat hurts. But the way I described the pain day 2 at 2 o'clock in the morning was like I had tonsillitis. So pain went up significantly. So I took my medicine like half an hour early, even though I shouldn't have. But I just couldn't deal with the pain anymore. I couldn't go back to sleep that night immediately, so I was up for a few hours, and my nose was kind of stuffy. Like, it literally felt like I had tonsillitis. Eventually I fell back asleep. I woke up at 7 a.m. to take my meds again, and my throat was hurting really bad. Like, It wasn't like deathly, like I wasn't gonna cry or anything like that, but it was pretty painful. Like it felt like I had like shards of glass in my throat, and every time I would swallow it would hurt. So for the most part I was kind of just like laying there with my mouth open, just letting drool seep into my pillow. Like some nights I had a towel on my pillow because I just literally couldn't deal with it anymore. That's basically how day 2 was feeling. I tried to drink water, but it still hurt really bad. Like when I have tonsillitis, I don't drink or eat anything because it's painful and I just rather not. Like last time I had tonsillitis, I ended up in the hospital because I was dehydrated and my fever was so high. So yeah, basically same thing all over again. But yeah, day 2, all I ate was I think a little bit of applesauce, but it kind of burned, so I couldn't finish it. I only ate like half, and then I ate like a scoop of ice cream because it was cold and it didn't burn at all because it was milk and it was just easy to get down. But regardless, like even eating the ice cream, it took me like half an hour to finish the scoop. Like I had to eat it really slow because of how bad and the pain was and how uncomfortable it was getting. So yeah, and I tried to drink a good amount of water that day, but I drank maybe like half a glass of water, but then later that day my throat was hurting so bad, and I just think like I was trying, like I was swallowing aggressively or something, because like my throat was just so sore and so in pain afterwards that I was just traumatized. Like I was like, I'm done, like I'm not gonna drink anything after this, like it's a wrap, your girl's gonna get dehydrated. So the rest of my day, like I didn't really, it's just I was so bored. So you know, I was coloring, I couldn't really do anything because I was falling asleep constantly because of the hydrocodone. Like I would take my hydrocodone, fall asleep for 2 hours, wake up, I'd be awake for like an hour, moping around, watching TV, coloring, whatever, and then playing with the cats, and then I would just fall back asleep again randomly. Like there's nothing I could do. The drugs had taken over my body at that point. Towards the night, my throat started hurting really bad, and then I started getting ear pain. So like my throat would hurt, and whenever I would swallow, like I would get sharp ear pain. So I started to put ice on that. So the ice helped significantly, and I just tried to like stay around my humidifier because I knew I wasn't drinking water, and they stressed like to stay hydrated, and I knew I wasn't drinking any water. So I was like, let me just stay by my humidifier and hope that like this is enough for my throat. And yeah, that was basically my day 2. So day 3 at 3 a.m, so basically like night 2 was pretty rough. Like I woke up and I could barely swallow, so I kind of just like laid there and let like water, like let my saliva run out of my mouth. Like this is so gross, but like I had to do it because it was just too painful to swallow, and I had like another like hour or 2 before I could take my medication again. So I literally just had to sit there and let like it drain out of my mouth. So I didn't really sleep much that night. I woke up at 3 and I was obviously in pain from all of that, and then I waited. I stayed up the whole hour, took my medication, stayed up for another like half an hour, and then eventually I fell asleep. But yeah, the pain was so bad that night that like I got like the ice pack and like, kind of just like slept with it, or like laid with it on my face. And I think I did end up falling asleep with it, like this was my pillow, and then this is my ice pack, and this was me. Like it was just stacked like this, because, and like I woke up and my face was like wet and cold, but like it was worth it because at least I wasn't in pain, you know? Like you just gotta make do during this. You're gonna be doing some weird stuff, but that's what I had to do. When I finally fell asleep that night, maybe like 5 a.m, I woke up at 9 a.m, I think, to take my medicine again. And like I had those marks on my face, those marks on my stomach that showed that I was sleeping like hard. Like I was knocked out. I woke up and my throat was still hurting, and they said when your throat hurts to just like eat ice chips or whatever, to reduce the swelling or whatever. So I was eating ice chips, and eating the ice chips was like, it was easier than drinking water, but it was still rather painful and uncomfortable. So like I just ate a little bit of them, and then I would take like really long breaks in between. The rest of day 3, I kind of just like sat on the couch, moped around, similar to day 1. I kept an ice pack on my neck throughout the majority of the day because it was painful. And I tried to eat a popsicle that day, and it was a mango flavored popsicle. And like just the sucking motion of sucking on a popsicle was just really like irritating my throat. Like moving, my mouth was like, my tongue was swollen, like the sides of my tongue hurt. And just like moving anything around this area in general was just really uncomfortable. So like even the popsicle was hard. And then once it started melting into my mouth, like for real, I I guess the acid from the mango was like burning my throat. So I just stopped eating the popsicle after like 2 bites. I tried to drink a Snapple that night and it burned. So like I got it down at first, but then after, it was like every time I tried to eat anything, like the first 2 or 3 bites or sips were like okay, like uncomfortable, but I could tolerate it. After that, it was just like, nope, burn, pain, everything. I was just like, I can't eat. So I took a few sips of the Snapple and then I just stopped because it just wasn't happening. So that's how my day 3 went. Night 3/day 4, like at like 2 o'clock in the morning, my throat was feeling really gross. And obviously, because, you know, tonsillectomy, I was feeling a lot of pain and my throat felt really like raw, but I couldn't take my medicine again because it wasn't time. So I was kind of just like laying there, not sleeping. And I think I like rolled over and like my breath caught and I had to cough so bad, and I really tried not to, but I coughed anyways, and that was so painful. And the weird thing was like I guess when they're doing the surgery, they have like a tube in your mouth or something, and when they, because this is what I read, and when they pull it out, it can cause like inflammation in like weird areas of your throat. So when I would look at my throat, like if you can see in the pictures that I've been putting up here, my like uvula area was like hanging low. So like now it's fine, but like it was like stretched out, hanging really low. So when I would breathe, take really deep breaths, I could feel it like feel it like swinging. So when I would cough, it would like, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it would kind of just flap like that. And I could feel it smacking around, and it was just so painful. So coughing, absolutely not. But if you have to cough, obviously you have to, but brace yourself for the pain you're gonna experience, because it's literally the worst. Moving around a lot, like in the middle of the night, would cause me to cough for some reason. So that was really uncomfortable. I woke up that day and my ears were hurting so bad. Like day 4 was when the ear pain started getting like bad. Like day 2 and 3, it was there, but it wasn't terrible. But day 4, no, like that's when it started getting wild. Like the ice wasn't doing it for me anymore. I was texting my friend and she told me that like when she had an ear infection, her doctor recommended to use like a heating pad, but she didn't want to buy one. So she put rice in like a sock and microwaved it and then would use that heat. So I was like, okay, I don't want to buy a heating pad either. So I did the rice thing, and that was really helping with the ear pain. So like every time my ears were in pain, I would microwave my rice socks and just lay there with my rice socks on my ears. Just make sure not to like burn yourself if you're gonna do this, because sometimes they get too hot and you gotta like shake them out. Like, every time I would take a shower, the ear pain would like decrease significantly. So that's why I was like, I know this heat from this sock is about to be like the holy grail. So day 4, I was like, I haven't really eaten anything in 3 days, so I'm gonna try, like, in the videos I've seen, like some people, they start eating like macaroni and mashed potatoes and stuff like day 1. So I'm like, I need to set my game up, like I'm behind. So I was like, I'm gonna make some ramen, and I know like noodles, I probably wouldn't be able to chew them, but I crushed them up real small, and I was like, if I can't eat the noodles, at least I'll just try to like eat the broth or whatever. But I'm gonna wait for it to cool down, because we're not supposed to eat anything like hot temperature wise or spicy either. But you know, so since it was soup, it was gonna be hot, so I was like, let me like wait for it to cool down, then we'll try to eat it. And at first, like swallowing was, it was hurting, but I was like, at least I'm getting something down. Like, let me bear through the pain so I can eat something, because me not eating is a problem. First 2 bites, I was like in pain, but tolerating it. And after that, those 2 bites, it was a wrap. Like, I could not do it anymore. It was hurting so bad. So I just didn't eat that. I got my ice cream, ate a scoop of that, called it a day. The ice cream was the only thing that was keeping me alive at this point. Later that day, the ear pain was still causing me a lot of like problems, and like my jaw was getting really tight and hurting. Like everything right here was just like swollen and in pain, and then I started getting really bad headaches. It was just bad altogether. Like I wasn't gonna cry from this pain. I would say pain level day 4 was probably like a 7. And then I remembered, like, I got my wisdom teeth taken out, I think like 2 years ago, and they gave me like this head wrap thing that you could put like ice packs in, and they would just rest right here. And I was like, yo, I need to find this. So I found it in my room, and I started using that to alternate with the sock, the hot socks or whatever. Sometimes I would use the hot sock if I wanted the heat, but for the most part, once I found that, that's all I was using like for the ear pain. So whenever I would get ear pain, I would get the wrap, get 2 plastic bags and put the ice in there and then just wrap my head up and lay down. And that was really helping. Like the cold, swallowing the ice chips, I know that does help. Like it was giving me some relief, but it was just so hard to swallow the ice chips. Like, but wrapping that around my face, like even if you don't have one of those, if you could just like get like a sheet or something just to secure the ice here, like tie it, whatever you have to do, like that was really helping me get through that like head and ear pain and like jaw pain. Like it was ideal. That's basically how my day 4 went. Day 5, I was feeling a lot better. I feel like I was finally getting into the groove of like how to deal with this. Like I had my routine with my medicine, I got my humidifier, you know, my naps are around the same time every day, so I know what to look forward to. I got my head wrap thing on with the ice. Like I was learning how to deal with this properly. And then day 5, I was like, let me see if I can talk. So like we have one of those remotes that you can like speak to, and like the only way to get to Netflix is if you say Netflix into it. So like whenever I wanted to go to Netflix, I would have to like find my mom and be like, oh, Netflix. Day 5, I was like, I think I can do this on my own. So here's a clip of me trying, and my voice just sounds so robotic and scary. Netflix. Yeah, but you know, I tried. But saying that was so painful, so I just didn't talk for the rest of the day after that. But at least I got to my Netflix, because you know, without Netflix, what was I gonna do? Nothing. That whole Netflix thing was at like 10 a.m. and then at noon was around the time like I took my nap every day. So at noon, that's when the pain started coming back, and I decided to like just go upstairs and take my nap like I was going to anyways, because that's when it was hitting me. So I like got like the big ice pack and slept with that on my face. Day 5, I ate half a cup of applesauce, and that was it. What was weird though was that I wasn't feeling hungry at all. I knew I should have been eating, but like that feeling of hunger was not there. Normally throughout the day, even if I'm not hungry, like I'll be craving random foods and stuff, but I wasn't craving anything. I guess my mind was like, you can't eat because you're in pain, so I'm not gonna let you feel hungry or something. But yeah, I didn't feel hungry at all. So me not eating wasn't that big of an issue for me, because I wasn't like desperate for food. Like physically, I probably like was, health-wise I probably was, like I probably needed it, but like I just didn't feel hungry, so I wasn't like freaking out about like not having food. That's basically how day 5 was. Oh, also day 5, when people go through this tonsillectomy, it's hard for them to use the bathroom, because like they're not like really consuming anything, and like also the pain pills they give us are like they cause like constipation or something. So yeah, I hadn't pooped in like 5 days at this point. Before surgery, I was pooping like two times a day, 2-3 times a day at least, like, you know, like that's my regular cycle. And yeah, I hadn't pooped in 5 days, and I was just concerned. Like I wasn't in pain or anything like that. I was feeling really gassy throughout this whole process, so sometimes gas would get stuck in me and I'd have to do stretches to like relieve the gas, but it was never like I had to like poop. Like I was never in pain for pooping. I was just like concerned mentally, because I was like, I know I ate before the surgery, like the day before, and that poop never came out of me. So I was just like, it's still in me for 5 days, and it was really grossing me out. So I was like, I told my mom to buy me a suppository, because I couldn't swallow like a pill or whatever, and I didn't want to swallow liquid either, because normally if I'm constipated I would take like citrus magnesium, but that stuff is sour, so that would burn my throat. So I was like, nope, can't do that. So I took a suppository. That was my first time taking one. It was terrifying, but I did it. And yeah, like I took it and I pooped out like 2 chunks, like 2 little chunks like this. And that was it. And I was like, I took a whole laxative, and that's all that came out. So I was really concerned, but I wasn't in pain from it, so I was trying not to stress. I was just like, let me just focus on the pain at hand, which is my throat. And day 6 rolls around. At that point, I was just like so bored. I hadn't done anything for 5 days straight. Like I was losing my mind at this point. Night 5 / day 6. It was basically the same as every other night. Like it was really painful. I was just waking up constantly in pain. Like every night I would like go to sleep, wake up at like 2 a.m. Like I would always like wake up an hour before I'm supposed to take my medicine, then I'd lay there for an hour in pain, take my medicine, wait another hour, go back to sleep, wake up again in the morning to take my medicine. That night like the pain was pretty bad, so like I heated up my socks and then put them on my ears, because I was getting a lot of ear pain that night, and then eventually I fell back asleep. And then day 6, like I finally washed my hair, because I hadn't washed my hair since the surgery, since the day before the surgery. So your girl dusty like ew. So I took a shower, washed my hair and everything, and I just felt so good after like fully washing like everything. I was just really bored that day, but I think I had like a pretty good day. Like I took my medicine, you know, I put my hair in space buns. I did this little thing that I saw on Instagram that I thought was really funny. I hadn't been outside, like I hadn't touched the outdoors in 6 days. So I was like, you know what, like, cause my plan was to like go with my mom to the store and stuff like that, just so I can get some fresh air. But like, I just kept falling asleep, and like and every time I wasn't sleeping, I was in so much pain that I didn't want to go anywhere. So day 6, I was just fed up and I was bored. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go like on the porch. So day 6, I finally went outside and sat on the porch. I tried talking a bit that day and it still sounded like pretty robotic, but it hurt. So after like a few sentences, I just stopped because I didn't want to like force anything. And I also tried to eat mashed potatoes that day. So like I didn't try to eat that day until like 6 o'clock, and my mom was like, let's make potatoes, and I was like, okay. So we made mashed potatoes, and I don't know what it was, but I guess it just felt like rough going down my throat. It felt like I was eating like a dry biscuit or something, and these potatoes were not dry, but like that's what it felt like when it was going down my throat. So I was just like, no. And it felt like it was getting stuck in like the scabs or whatever. So I was like, nope, can't eat that. So after that, I tried to drink some water, but like the mashed potatoes, just from trying twice to swallow it, it just caused me so much pain that like drinking water after that was hurting worse. Like swallowing in general after that was hurting worse. I was getting so much more ear pain. Swallowing after the mashed potatoes was like 8/9 out of 10. So I regretted that. Yeah, but the only thing I ate that day was 1 whole cup of applesauce. So finally leveled up to a whole cup. And I had a cup of water and 2 spoonfuls of potatoes. So yeah, it was like living the lavish lifestyle. I was eating healthy. All right, day 7. So day 6, after my mashed potato incident, I was in a lot of pain. So I took my pain medicine, obviously. And I remember like I was almost out of my pain medicine. And I was like, everyone has said that day like 5 through 10 is literally the worst. And my pain was pretty painful, but it wasn't as bad as what people had been describing. So I was like, either I'm not gonna experience this terrible pain people are talking about, or it just hasn't come yet. If it hasn't come yet, I need to be prepared with my pain medicine for when it does arrive. So I cannot run out. Like running out is not an option, because I doubt Tylenol is gonna be like as good as the hydrocodone. I took the pain medicine that night because I was in pain from the mashed potatoes. But then when I woke up later in the night, I decided to skip my next dose and wait until things got like super bad. So I was like, I'm gonna start taking my pain medicine when I like desperately need it, versus just like every 5 hours like I've been doing. So I can save it for when like I really, really need it. And yeah, that was a big mistake because I skipped my next dose, and then at 8 o'clock in the morning I woke up and I was in excruciating pain, like pain level 9. Swallowing was so hard. I was just like spitting out like my saliva at that point, because swallowing was not an option anymore for me. It was just so painful. Yeah, so at that point I was like, I'm not taking any more breaks from this hydrocodone. I'll try to see if maybe I can get a refill, even though they kind of said I can't. But like the rest of that day was just like so terrible. Like the best parts of this was when I was asleep, because that's when I was feeling no pain. But that day I tried to eat applesauce. Like I didn't even record that much that day because I was just in so much pain. But here's a picture of like, I tried to eat applesauce, I tried to drink water, and I tried to drink apple juice. And this is how far I got in all of those. Like I barely ate any of it. Like that's where I ended. I tried to drink the apple juice, but it burned after 1 sip, so I just didn't drink the rest of it. I tried to drink water, and they say not to drink with a straw, but I wanted to try it out, and drinking with a straw wasn't more painful or less painful, it just felt the same. But yeah, barely got any water down, even with the straw. And that's all I ate that day because the pain was just so bad. Like I just shouldn't have skipped the painkillers that day. My throat, like as you can see in the pictures, had that white film over it. Like the scab was just so, like I could feel how thick the scab was in my throat. It was just so gross. Day 7 was not a great day. It wasn't like deathly painful. Like I've seen people talk about their experience with this and they're like, oh, it was so painful. I wouldn't, like if I could go back in time, I wouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I had pockets of pain. So like there were moments that were extremely painful, but they only lasted for a certain amount of time before I like fell asleep or anything like that. So I don't regret getting this, but the times that were painful were pretty painful, but it wasn't like an all day thing. The thing that was all day was just the uncomfortability But pain-wise, that wasn't like all day, because I had like pain medicine, I had like, you know, my ice, my heat to like block the pain occasionally. So night 7, day 8, I was trying to go to sleep and I was swallowing like really hard because my throat just felt really dry, obviously, because I was dehydrated. I wasn't drinking anything. And I remember swallowing, and then all of a sudden I started feeling like this warmth in my throat, and I was like, So I had a towel next to my bed, and I spit on the towel, and there was blood. And I was like, oh no. Because they're like, if you bleed, like, you have a high chance of like, you know, over bleeding, I guess, or like bleeding too much. And then you might have to like go back to the hospital and get it like recauterized or whatever. Like, I was just terrified. So I was like, oh God, like I'm bleeding. So I woke my mom up and I was just like, stay awake with me for like an hour until just to see if this like stops bleeding. And so I was like spitting out little bits of blood, like a blood clot came out and everything. I took a picture of my throat and I could see that, like, based on the picture from the day before and the day and that moment, like one of the scabs had started to fall off. So that's why I was bleeding. So I held some ice there and I was eating ice chips just to like see if I could get the blood to stop. And eventually after like 30 minutes, it did stop bleeding. That was good. So I just went back to sleep because what was I gonna do? So then when I finally woke up in the morning, I was feeling so like drained. I was pretty, I wouldn't say energetic throughout this, but like I didn't feel like lightheaded or at all, like as I should have been feeling, because I wasn't eating or drinking anything. But day 8, that's when it hit me. Like I got out of bed, I felt like I was gonna fall over. Like I was feeling really lightheaded. My throat was burning. Like I just felt so unstable that day. Like I truly felt like I was gonna pass out. I tried to drink some water or eat some ice chips, but because my scab had ripped that night, like it was even more difficult to do so. So I was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I texted my mom and I was like, we need to go to the hospital. Like, like I need to get like an IV or something. Like I know that I'm feeling this way because I'm dehydrated, and I know that I cannot get water down my throat physically right now because it's too painful. So let's just go to the hospital. We went to the hospital. Obviously they were like, yes, you're dehydrated. They took a look at my throat. They said everything was healing fine, but they gave me an IV, so obviously I can get rehydrated. When I was at the hospital, like I couldn't really talk because I still wasn't talking by that day. So my mom was trying to explain to the doctors what was going on, but couldn't really explain it because I never really told her exactly. So I had to like force myself to talk that day. And it was coming out like really strained and robotic, and it was really painful to talk, but I still had to do it because I was like, I need this IV. Like if I'm gonna do anything today, it's gonna be talking to get this IV. So I talked to the doctors, and the more I talked to them, the easier it was getting to talk that day. So that's the day like I officially like started talking again. So I'm talking now. Sounds really gross, but like I just want to practice speaking. That's why I'm doing this. They want it to be easier for me to swallow, so like I don't have to keep coming back to get like IV pumped into my system. So they gave me the IV saline stuff, and then they also put in my IV a steroid. I don't remember what it was called, but a steroid to reduce the swelling of my throat. And I also feel like that's why it's easier for me to talk today too. And it reduced the swelling significantly, and they gave me like ice chips after, and I was able to swallow them. It still was a little uncomfortable, similar to how it felt like day 1, day 2, but I was able to do it. It wasn't like today or yesterday where my brain felt like it was gonna explode. So that was so helpful. Like I really needed the steroid because look, and now I can even talk. Like, I'm so grateful that I came. They refilled my hydrocodone because I was almost out, and then they also gave me a steroid to take at home. Prednisolone phosphate. I'll just put the name here. This is the steroid. That should help me be able to eat better and drink better and heal better. I just wish I had the steroid from the start, because day 8, I was like, I see the light, man. It's about to be over. My time might end before I know. Like maybe I don't even have to reach 14 days. Maybe my time's gonna be shorter, you know? So I got excited and I tried eating mashed potatoes, and yeah, that sharp shooting pain came back immediately, and yeah, wasn't ready for that. So I put my ice pack on my ears, and I'm slowly starting to feel a little better since then. So probably just gonna eat my applesauce like I planned and then call it a night. So day 9, I woke up at like 11 a.m. and I was feeling all right. My throat was still hurting, but you know, I had to get used to that. I was just really excited because I was like, this is my turnaround point, you know, after going to the hospital yesterday. and, you know, getting my steroids and my IV and my extra hydrocodone, like things should be easier from now moving forward. Like this may be my turning point. To take the steroids, I have to eat before I take them. That's what the doctor told me. You have to eat before you take the steroids or something bad's gonna happen. So I was like, okay, let me go downstairs and get some food. So I was gonna eat applesauce, but I saw my mom drinking this mango smoothie and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can have some mango stuff now. So I got the mango smoothie. I got like a little sample of it in a cup just to see if I could like attempt to drink it. And I took literally the tiniest sip and it burned so bad. So like, as soon as it hit my throat, it like fire immediately. Pain shot up through my ear into my head. I was like bent over in pain. Like if I could scream, I would have screamed if it wasn't gonna hurt. Like it was so pain. Like that's when I hit a 10. Like in that moment right there, that was level 10 pain. Like I literally wanted to scream. I immediately like was like hunched over like this, like got some ice, put it in my like head wrap thing, wrapped my head, went upstairs, and was just like sitting there in pain. And I didn't know what to do because I couldn't take my hydrocodone for another 2 hours, and I had to take my steroids, but I couldn't take it without eating because that's what the doctor said. And I was just so frustrated. So this is what, like at this point, it was just taking a mental toll on me, and I literally started crying because I was just like I wasn't crying from the pain. I was crying from, well, I mean, the pain was pretty painful, but I was mostly crying because I was just so frustrated. Like I convinced myself after the day prior that this was my turning point. And the fact that it had been 8 whole days and I'm still going through this, and I thought it was getting better, and it wasn't. Like this was the worst pain I'd experienced the whole time, and I was just like, it's never gonna, like in that moment, like I wrote down in my notebook, like I was so frustrated. I was like, this is literally never gonna end. And like I said earlier in this video, one of the main reasons I was getting my tonsils removed is because for the past like 13 years, I've been so stuffy all the time, blowing my nose constantly. Like I basically can never breathe. And like in that moment when I was crying, you know, you cry, your nose gets really stuffy, you can't breathe. Like that's how I was in the moment. And it was just like traumatizing and triggering because I was like, I got this surgery, I've been going through all this pain and like all of this through the past 9 days. And now I'm sitting here back at square one where I can't even breathe because my nose is so stuffy. And like I thought this was gonna be over with soon, and I'm not even close. I feel like it's just, I'm starting all over again. Like I was just, at that point it had taken a mental toll on me, and I was losing my mind. Like I was like, it was driving me insane. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be in the house anymore. Like it's over. The fact that I got steroids and I can't even take them right now to get rid of this pain so I can eat, like how am I gonna survive? I just felt like I hit a wall. I felt stuck, and I just needed to like go to sleep. After my little crying episode, I started doing some research on the steroids because I was like, there's gotta be a way. Like, why can't I take these steroids? And apparently the steroid that they gave me, it has a tendency to reduce the lining of some people's stomach, which can cause them to have like some type of acid burn or whatever in their stomach, and may be able to cause like an ulcer or something. So if you take it too much without food, then it could keep reducing it, and then it could cause you like pain or like nausea or whatever. And I was like, I need to take this. Like I'll eat after it reduces the inflammation in my throat, because then I'll be able to like get some applesauce or something down. But as of right now, like I'm just gonna have to take it without food, or else I'm not gonna be able to eat ever again. like that's my only option. And I remembered that I was prescribed nausea tablets. So I was like, if my stomach does start hurting from this, then I'll just take the nausea tablets, and hopefully that'll like balance it out. So I don't get like this burning sensation that they're talking about or end up vomiting. So that's what I did. I took the steroids after I calmed down from crying and doing my research. And then I kept the nausea tablets just by my bedside just in case. I didn't end up taking them because it didn't even end up hurting my stomach. And after that, that's when I actually saw the light. After I had my little crying episode from my frustration that's been pent up for the past 8 days, then I took my steroids, the inflammation went down after an hour, and then at that point I was able to take my hydrocodone, and then at that point, after another hour, I was able to get some food down. When I took my hydrocodone and took my steroids, like that burned a lot too, but it was a momentary burn. And I was like, I have to do this in order to feel relief afterwards, so it's fine. So I would like take my medicine and then like immediately put an ice pack to my ear, just like wait out the pain for a few minutes. That night around like 6 o'clock, I ended up eating a few spoonfuls of ice cream, and then it started getting really painful. And then after that, I ate a whole cup of applesauce, which took me an hour, but I did it. And I was proud of myself, and I drank a little bit of water, but for the most part I wasn't really drinking water. And I was convincing myself, well, I had the IV yesterday, so I should be good for the next couple of days. Day 9 was my worst day mentally, because I was just like, I just didn't think it was ever gonna end. Day 10 was when I started recording more frequently on my phone to talk to you guys. So I'm just gonna input those clips because they're way more detailed than the ones that I currently just showed you. That's why I had to talk you through them, but please watch. Hey guys, my voice still sounds really weird, but it is day 10 and I started using the steroids and the hydrocodone, and I am starting to feel a lot better. I tried eating applesauce just now, and this side of my throat burns a lot from it. So I ate like 2 spoonfuls, and then I'm taking a break. I'm gonna take a slow. But a few days ago when I went to the hospital, this side of my throat was hurting the most. And now this side doesn't really hurt at all. So I guess this scab has, because the other day when my scab fell off and I was bleeding, that was on this side of my throat. So I assumed that scabs are slowly falling off on this side, and that's why it's burning more than before. But that means I'm making progress, and that hopefully in the next like 2 or 3 days, this side will be more healed and not be burning as much. Like this side has improved. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at. I've been taking the steroids, I've been taking the hydrocodone. And the steroids I take once a day, the hydrocodone I take like every 6 hours. So, I mean, it's working. I'm talking, so that's good. It only hurts a little bit when I talk because of this side. But yeah, I'm about to take a shower. I'm gonna go downstairs and relax for a bit. Try to get some stuff done online because I've been doing nothing for the past 10 days. And I'm getting bored. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I guess I'll check in with you guys later if anything weird happens. So I'm starving and I'm out of ice cream, and all I have is applesauce and water, and that's the only thing I can eat right now because everything else is still too painful. But yeah, out of ice cream, and all I was eating was vanilla, so I was like, mother, please take me to the grocery store because I need ice cream and I'm starving. So I was gonna get vanilla like I was before, but then I was like, caramel cone. No, there's something crunchy in there, but like I could probably do it, right? We'll find out soon. I'm back home, got my ice cream. It looks so delicious. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I haven't eaten anything like diverse in a while, so kind of excited to switch things up. A little scared because I feel like it might hurt with all the chunks, but I'll eat all the soft parts first. I have a huge sweet tooth, so this is doing everything for me right now. Not like your plain Jane vanilla. Nothing against vanilla though. Like I love me a good vanilla, but it's good to switch things up. It's been 10 days. I'm over vanilla. Okay, Cleo, this is not your shot. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. Bye. So it took me half an hour, but I finally finished my ice cream. And yes, it was chunky. Yes, it was kind of hard to get down, but like the applesauce, it only hurt on this side of my throat, like earlier today. So it wasn't that bad, you know, because I took my time in between the pain and such. But maybe tomorrow I can eat something like thicker. Maybe I can level up to mashed potatoes finally. Pasta? I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but we'll see. Hey guys, it's day 11 and it is about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So I decided to tell you about my day because I haven't checked in with you guys. I think I woke up around like 10 a.m. I had to take my medicine at like 5 a.m. So I was in and out of sleep last night because my throat was hurting. It was burning a little bit throughout the night, and I think that's because I mean, like, it's been burning this whole time, obviously, because I'm still recovering, but I also think because of the ice cream with the caramel cone in it, I think it like stumped my progress a little bit and caused a little bit more irritation than I was having the night prior. So yeah, I kind of like messed myself up with that, but it's fine. I feel okay right now. We've been running errands all day and I hadn't eaten anything today until I got home. So this morning I was running off of hydrocodone and my steroids that I took at 1 o'clock. And also after my steroids, I was feeling a little nauseous. So I ended up taking one of the nausea pills, the anti-nausea pills that they gave me. And that helped calm my stomach down. It's like a dissolvable tablet, but it tastes like bubblegum. And yeah, so like I didn't feel nauseous after that. But yeah, I ran a bunch of errands, took a few hours. And then me and my mom went to visit my sister. I haven't seen her since the surgery. And she was like, you sound really weird. And I was like, I know. But also my voice is still just like super strained right now. Like I can still feel the swelling and feel like the blockage or whatever is going on in there. So I know this isn't what ultimately I'm going to sound like, but I do feel like my voice has changed because I don't, like listening back to these videos that I'm making, my voice doesn't sound as nasally as it used to. And also I haven't been blowing my nose. So that's great. So I think the surgery worked for that. And also, obviously, I won't be getting tonsillitis anymore. So that's great. But yeah, so I've been talking a lot today because I went to see my sister. So yeah, like my voice does feel a little bit more strained because I've been talking way more than I have the past 11 days. And, but I mean, ultimately, like I feel okay. And yeah, so I got home, I hadn't eaten anything, and I was just like, oh, I need my hydrocodone because I've been talking all day. My throat hurts so bad right now. Like, pain level when I got home for my throat when I would swallow was like level 5, level 6. So I took my hydrocodone because it was time to take it by the time I got home. After maybe like 10 minutes, I had an applesauce that I ate half of yesterday, and then it was burning too much, so I stopped. And I finished that today. I had it in a little plastic bag. And it was pretty easy to get down. After I take my hydrocodone, because that stuff burns, I usually like chase it with water. So since my applesauce was burning, I was like, let me chase this with water too, because I really need to eat something. So I chased that with water, and I was able to finish the half of the cup that I had left. Not that that's a lot of food, but still, it's something. And you know, I haven't been eating a lot anyways, so that was a lot for me. Since these past 11 days, I haven't been eating. But yeah, that's what I ate. I haven't really been feeling hungry. I was really hungry last night when I went to go get the ice cream, but that was the hungriest I've been this entire like journey. Like I haven't been craving food, feeling hungry like that really at all up until yesterday. And now today I don't feel hungry again. But I know I have to eat, so I'm trying to like force myself to drink water so I don't get super dehydrated again and go to the hospital like before. But yeah, so in 2 days, today's Monday, so on Wednesday I have a doctor's appointment so I could do a post-op so they can check my throat, make sure I'm healing properly, I guess. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. I'm feeling pretty good. I've lost, I think my start weight at the beginning of this was 163 the morning after surgery. So like right after surgery, I weighed myself, I was 163. And right now I'm weighing in, this was like after my applesauce just now, I'm weighing in at 151.8. So I've lost quite some weight, which I'm probably gonna gain most of it back. But that's how my day 11's going. I will tune back in with you guys later today if anything weird happens. Otherwise, I'll just see you guys tomorrow for day 12. So it's still day 11. It's 8:45 p.m. and like an hour ago I was like, I have so much energy, and I was thinking about what my life's gonna be like when I get back to, you know, normal. And I was like, oh, I want to start doing like 100 squats a day and, you know, just planning my like routine or whatever. And I was like, let me see if I can do like a few squats. So I did 25, and keep in mind I'm running off half a cup of applesauce and like half a bottle of water. So I did 25, and then I was like, I am so tired. Like I could fall asleep standing right now. So I laid down. I didn't feel like I was gonna pass out or anything, but I was so tired. But yeah, it's like 8 o'clock, so I'm like, I don't wanna go to sleep right now. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. So I decided to get some ice cream, and all I have is the caramel cone one that I bought yesterday night when I was feeling impulsive. And I've been eating around the chunks. I had a few spoonfuls, but my throat was hurting when I was eating it. I feel like it's really raw right now because of the chunks from last night and from talking all day. But yeah, I do feel like I got some energy back from eating the few, you know, spoonfuls, but it burns. So I'm just gonna try to drink some water and just make sure I stay hydrated so nothing happens to me. I shouldn't have done the squats. That was very stupid. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
probably gonna go to sleep within the next hour or two because I am so tired. And I know I shouldn't just be eating applesauce and ice cream, but please believe, if I could get down to anything else, I would. I'm tired of eating it. I mean, I love sweets, so great, but like, I also love ramen. I tried to eat the broth earlier this week, as you guys saw, and it hurt. So, yeah, I'm just a big baby, but let's see what we can eat tomorrow. I'll tune back in then. I'm honestly probably gonna go to sleep soon, so. Also, real quick, and I think this is very mentionable, every day for the past 11 days, I'll like wake up in the middle of the night a few times, go back to sleep, and ultimately I'll wake up in the morning at like 8 or 9 a.m., and then I'll go back to sleep and sleep like till 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's like my morning nap. So like every day I take like a nap until like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And today I did not take that nap because I was out doing things. And I also think that's contributing to me being so sleepy right now. And I'm on drugs. But yeah, just thought I should point that out. Okay, bye. Also, one last thing that I swear I'm done. I just tried to eat more ice cream. I'm just gonna stop because it really hurts. But the pain I'm feeling is in my throat, in my ear, and under my tongue. I wasn't specific with that before, but I'm feeling pain in all of those areas. It's just like a big circle of pain. So yeah, I'm just gonna drink my water, but thought I should mention that. I feel like that's important. Now bye for real. Hey guys, it's day 12 and it's currently like 3 p.m. I woke up I think around like 11 a.m. and I took my hydrocodone dose and it was the last of my hydrocodone. So, gonna have to switch over to Tylenol whenever I'm in pain from now on. And, yeah, I kind of just like moped around in my room for a bit because I don't really have anything to do. And I've been feeling like really drained. I know I'm dehydrated and like malnourished, but yeah, I'm just feeling really like tired. So I didn't really do anything today yet. I took my steroids at 1 o'clock and the first 3 days, I'm supposed to take 3 teaspoons. So 3 teaspoons each day for 3 days. After the 3 days, I have to lower down to 2 teaspoons each day for 3 days, and then 1 teaspoon each day for the last 3 days, and then I'm done. But today was my first day doing only 2 teaspoons. And yeah, my ears are starting to hurt when I talk again for too long. And I don't really feel good today. I kind of have a headache. My ears hurt. I drank water. Not a lot, obviously, but I still tried to drink water and it was just, yeah. I got as much as I could get down, but like the top of my throat or my mouth is hurting a lot. My tongue on the side is hurting, which has been hurting since, the surgery. So I'm pretty sure something clamped down there. I thought the pain would go away by now, like it was a bruise or like something stabbed me there, but it still hurts. It burns when I eat anything. Ugh, I feel like talking laying down like this is painful. Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Feeling really drained. I think I'm gonna take a shower in a few. And then probably just take a nap because I just don't feel good right now. I just feel really tired and my head is throbbing, my throat feels gross. Like it doesn't burn or hurt too badly, it's just uncomfortable. But like the top of my mouth hurts, my jaw hurts, and the side of my tongue hurts. So yeah, but I mean, I took a picture of my throat today. It's healing decently. I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm just gonna take it really slow today. Probably not talk as much and try to get some food down. But I'll tune in with you guys later. So it's still day 12. Quick update. I got some energy somehow, and I was like, you know what? I need to eat something. I think it's like 6:40 right now. So I have applesauce, and I finished some of it. But I've realized when I'm eating, like when I swallow, like my throat still feels uncomfortable when I'm swallowing, but the pain is coming from the side of my tongue and under my tongue. So if the food hits under my tongue or the side of my tongue, it burns like crazy. It hurts really bad. But if I focus while I'm swallowing and make sure it doesn't get under my tongue at all, then it's just like regular uncomfortable, but I can still eat it. So there's probably something wrong with the nerve or whatever. I'm not a doctor, but something's up under my tongue or on the side of my tongue, which I'll ask my doctor tomorrow, but I'm going to try my best to finish this applesauce because I need to eat. But yeah, and when I drink water, it like automatically gets under there because water is not as thick as applesauce, so it's hard to like avoid it getting there, but I'm still trying to like drink the water and stuff, but I think that's where my current pain is coming from. Otherwise, my throat itself, it just feels like I don't know a good word to describe it. It just feels weird, like uncomfortable, kind of stiff because it's still healing, but it doesn't like hurt, like it's not painful. What's painful is the tongue thing. So quick update, I'll ask about it tomorrow and let you guys know what's up. Hey guys, it's day 13. It's like 3 p.m. right now. I went to my doctor's appointment earlier and they told me, sorry, I haven't taken my steroids yet today because I've been out and about, so my throat hurts really bad and I haven't taken any pain medicine yet. But anyways, they told me that my throat is healing at a good pace. It's healing well. I'm on track. Everything looks fine, so that's good. Sorry my camera cut off, but yeah, they said everything looks fine. I told him about how under my tongue and on the side of my tongue hurts really bad when I drink anything, and he said that that's normal sometimes from the surgery, and although it's been almost basically the full 2 weeks, that I still may be experiencing pain afterwards, but over time that should go away. So glad that's not going to be a forever thing, because then I literally would never be able to eat again. But yeah, so hopefully that goes away. But today my throat just feels like sore. Like I just feel like I have a sore throat, like a bad sore throat. And then the tongue thing is like kind of irritating when I'm trying to drink still. But yeah, I have to take my Tylenol and I have to take my steroids. The steroids always help because the anti-inflammatory. So it really helps with the swelling, which makes it easier for me to talk and swallow. But because I haven't taken it in 24 hours, talking is pretty hard right now. So yeah, but I'm back at my own place because to be taking care of myself now. And I just bought a new ice cream, pistachio, with no chunks. It's a gelato, so hopefully I enjoy that. But yeah, still the only thing I can get down is applesauce and ice cream. But yeah, not many updates today, just I'm doing well. I'll just tune back in tomorrow or later today if anything weird happens. Update, it's still day 13, but I made some Thai coconut soup and I'm eating it. Just thought I should let y'all know. I tried drinking Snapple earlier and it was still too acidic, so it was burning me. That's why I put my little ice mask thing on, but this kind of hurts a little bit eating it, but if I eat it really slow, it's much easier. But maybe tomorrow I can eat something like kind of real, like a thicker soup maybe some noodles. Stay tuned. So because I decided to eat soup today and I came and got some broccoli cheddar from this restaurant, and I'm eating it. Like I'm eating the broccoli, like it's soft enough for me to eat, so I think I'm gonna poop tonight, kind of excited. But yeah, thought I should update you guys. I'll tune in later. I finished the whole soup. Hey guys, it's day 14, night 14. I decided to just have my entire day and then tune in with you guys at the end of today to tell you guys how it went. So today I was feeling like so much better. I woke up and my throat was hurting, I think because I ate that soup yesterday that was kind of chunky and I wasn't ready for it. But yeah, so my throat was hurting a little bit this morning. So I took Tylenol when I woke up, but I couldn't take my steroids until 3 o'clock because I have to take it every 24 hours. So like the Tylenol helped, but it didn't help as much as the steroids would have. So I didn't eat today until like 4 o'clock and I ate applesauce, and that's all I've had today so far. I'm about to eat some soup, the leftovers from the soup that I made yesterday. But yeah, so that's all I've eaten today. Eating still hurts a little bit. So I'm still trying to take it slow, but I feel much better physically than before. Like my throat just feels like a regular cold, sore throat. It still feels weird when I talk. Like I still feel like I'm straining my voice. Like something's like holding me back because the pain is still there. I don't want to say pain because it doesn't like hurt. It's just uncomfortable. It only really hurts when I'm trying to eat or drink something. But that's where I'm at right now. And today I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna try to get back to my regular schedule. And I normally, I've been trying to do yoga every morning before I got this surgery. So normally I do yoga for like an hour, but today I was like, let me just do like 20 minutes because I don't want to like exert myself too much when I'm barely eating or drinking anything. And I don't plan on drinking that much today anyways because my throat hurts. So I did that, and I feel like that was still overexerting myself a little bit because today I've been feeling really like woozy and like kind of drained. But it was fun because I didn't have anywhere to go. Everything I had to do was at home on the computer and stuff like that. So I still had a really productive day. Ate my applesauce, drank more water than normal, and by more water I mean like half a bottle. So I mean that's progress for me. And yeah, now I'm about to eat this soup, try to get a little bit more water in, and then I'm just gonna relax and go to sleep. Guys, this has been my 14-day journey through my tonsillectomy. The next video clip that you're gonna see is gonna be me a few days from now, because I told myself that I would film every day for 14 days because they said it's gonna be a 14-day like process of healing. But you know, there's still like healing that you have to do after those initial 14 days. So I'll tune back in with you guys in the next clip a few days from now to tell you guys how overall this experience has been and how my journey has ended.
That was day 14. Day 15, I was feeling much better that day. My throat was still hurting and it still hurt to like eat, but it wasn't anything terrible. I wanted to try to eat something more solid because I was so concerned. It's been 15 days at this point and I haven't used the bathroom. Like I haven't pooped. I've been peeing obviously, but like I haven't pooped yet, and it's just so concerning to me because there's stuff inside me. Like I know I haven't been eating like real food, but like still I hadn't pooped out what I ate before the surgery, and like I've been eating like ice cream and applesauce, and like I ate the broccoli cheddar soup and that never pooped out. So I was just like, it was bothering me mentally, like there's stuff inside me that needs to come out, and like but I wasn't in any pain or anything. I went to get shrimp and grits to see if I could eat that, and it was tough. It hurt going down. Like it was like level 4 pain, I would say, going down, but it was still tolerable. So I ate like half of it, and then I came home and then I ate the other half maybe like 3 hours later. And at this point I was off like hydrocodone, I was taking my Tylenol, so, and I was still taking the steroid, so that was helping me be able to get like thicker foods down. So I finished the whole thing after like a 5-hour period, but still like I got it down, so that was great. And the rest of my day was pretty chill. Like anytime I did anything like overexerting, trying to do yoga or anything, I always felt really exhausted throughout the rest of the day. So like I did yoga that morning, but I only did half an hour because I didn't want to do too much with like no water or food in me like that. Yeah, I ate the grits, the shrimp and grits, and then later that night, my friend was having like a little sleepover, and I wasn't gonna sleep over, but she really wanted me to come stop by. So I was like, okay, let me go be social for a minute. I haven't talked all day because I went to go get food and then I came back and stayed in the house all day and just like clean. So I was like, let me go out, try to be social and talk and see how that goes. I couldn't eat anything, so like I got a cheesecake on the way and I ate half the cheesecake because it was soft, so obviously I could eat that. It was good. I was talking a lot while I was there because I'm a social person. Like I can talk for days, but yeah, I was talking a lot. And then when I came home that night, I was on the phone with my friend and we stayed on the phone for a couple of hours. So I talked for a very long time that night. And the next morning, which was yesterday morning, I felt so trash. Like I felt so disgusting. My throat was hurting so bad. I felt like I had like strep throat. Like I could barely talk. My stomach was hurting really bad, I guess because of the food combination that I ate. And also like I hadn't pooped, so maybe things were finally starting to hit me, like it's got to come out at some point. Like I'm just stacking food inside of me at this point. So yesterday was really rough. Like my throat was hurting. I just felt really sick. My body was aching. Like I felt like I had like the flu. No, well, I wouldn't say the flu because I didn't have like a fever or anything, but like I was having flu-like symptoms. But yesterday morning I just tried, like I didn't have any food in the house like that I could eat, so I went to the grocery store finally and I got like soups and raviolis and like really soft foods that I could try to get down. And when I came home, I just like stayed bundled up all day. Like I was freezing. Maybe I did have a fever. But I was like really cold, and I ate half a can of like the Chef Boyardee raviolis, and I bought Jello and I had 2 cups of Jello, and I also had a pack of ramen, and that's all I ate yesterday. Swallowing, it was uncomfortable, but it didn't hurt that much. Like even swallowing today, like it's probably pain level like 2. It just feels weird, like I have a regular sore throat, like a cold or something. I was just so concerned that there was so much food inside me, so I took 2 stool softeners. Well, I took 1 at first, and then nothing happened for like 2 hours. Like I didn't even feel anything moving in there. And then I took a second one, and I was in and out of the bathroom for like 4 hours. I like sat on the toilet like 10 times. And like if you were like grossed out by poop stories, then just honestly exit the video now, because like I'm about to go in detail. The first like 5 times I sat on the toilet, like nothing happened, and then eventually I was like forced it. Like the whole time I was trying to force, but like nothing was happening. But I could feel my bowels moving, like it was hurting. I was sweating, like I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I was going through it yesterday. And eventually I pooped, and I looked in the toilet, and it was like the littlest little poop chunk ever. It took me like half an hour to push out that little tiny poop chunk. So like every half an hour I would poop out like 1 little poop chunk. And eventually, finally, after like 4 hours, I actually pooped for real, and it was just sweet relief. I was like, thank God, get all this out of my system. I took the pill because now I'm able to do that rather than like the suppository that I tried to beforehand. After all of that, like I felt better because I was relieved and my stomach wasn't hurting as much anymore. But even after that, my stomach was still feeling a little woozy, and like my body was aching. Like normally when I get tonsillitis, my lymph nodes gets really swollen right here, and it's like really sore and painful. And that's how I was feeling yesterday. So I feel like my body was trying to fight off some type of infection, and like my face was sore. It was just, my throat was hurting even more. Like I just felt like I had like tonsillitis last night. After my little poop episode, I went to sleep, and this morning I woke up feeling so much better. As you can see, I'm talking. My voice still feels a little strained, and obviously like it still feels like I have a cold, like a sore throat, but things have gotten so much better. Like at day 9, I was like, this is never gonna end. This is my life now. My tongue's always gonna be swollen. My ears will always be in pain. But no, I feel so much better now. And as for my nose issue, like I can breathe. After 13 years of not being able to breathe normally because I'm always stuffy, constantly blowing my nose, like my mucus production was at an all-time high for 13 whole years. Now I can breathe again. Like a lot of people get their tonsils out just because of like they're too big, like they get tonsillitis and sore throats and like strep all the time, which is still a serious thing. But like I was getting that, and I was having this year-round like constantly stuffy, walking around with tissues all the time because I can't breathe situation. And like now I can breathe. Like I haven't blown my nose in forever. Well, since I like cried, I guess. And like it's just so amazing to be able to breathe, and knowing that like I'm not gonna get tonsillitis anymore, because tonsillitis, as you know because you're watching this video, is literally the worst. Like every time I've gotten tonsillitis, I feel like I'm about to die. Like it's so bad. And I'm just so grateful that I don't have to get tonsillitis anymore. I'm so grateful that I can breathe. I don't have to walk around with tissues anymore. I don't have to worry about like having to freak out trying to find a tissue so I can blow my nose just so I can breathe, or like having to breathe through my mouth. Like I can breathe. Like I am so grateful that I got this surgery, and I know like I'm still healing. They say that the healing, like ultimately 14 days it takes to get through like the worst bits, and then after that you're still like slowly healing up to like 4 weeks. So I know I still have some time to fully heal, but I'm so grateful for where I'm at. Like this is amazing. I'm so glad I got the surgery. It was 100% worth it. Everyone says it. They're always at the end of the videos like, it's worth it. And when I was watching it, I was like, is it? Because you seemed like you were in hell. But it's definitely worth it. And also, because I wasn't eating, I lost mad weight. You can probably see my face looks slimmer than like the original video. But I was originally 163 and now I'm 149. And my goal weight has always been 150. So your girl got a fast track to her goal weight. I know when I start eating, like I've been drinking a lot more water, so I'm pretty sure I gained back my water weight. So right now I'm at, well, this morning I weighed in at 149. So I guess because I like pooped. But yeah, like normally people just gain all the weight back, but I'm gonna try to keep it off because this is where I wanna be at weight wise. I'm still taking it slow. Like overexerting myself is still, like going out that night and to the slumber party and being really social, like I feel like that took me back, you know, like I shouldn't have, I feel like I was being impatient. Like I just really wanted to go out and do stuff and like go get back to my regular life because I've been trapped for 2 weeks and it was driving me crazy. So I wanted to go out and have a good time, but you know, I feel like that did halt my progress a little bit, and that's why yesterday was so trash. But no, today I'm feeling a lot better, and I just need to take my recovery slow. So like my advice to y'all out there going through this, if you're in the back end of your recovery phase and you're like, I want to go out and do stuff, like I'm ready to live my life again and like start working out and like overexerting and all this stuff, like take it easy. Like if you work out for like an hour regularly in your normal life a day, like let's start off with like 20 minutes or something, and then next day 30 minutes, next day, like slowly work your way back into your regular life. Because I tried to jump back in and then I had to have a whole day of recovery yesterday because I was in so much pain, because my body was like, why? I wasn't ready. And also I'm not eating like hard foods yet, I'm still eating soft foods. My voice, I know it sounds kind of strained right now because it feels strained, but I don't know if my voice sounds like that different. Like my sister says I sound like a completely different person. Some people say my voice sounds deeper. Some people say my voice sounds light. I have no idea, but apparently people's voices change during this. I just think I sound a little less nasally than before, but yeah, overall, that was my experience. It was really rough. It took a mental toll on me. Obviously, it took a physical toll on me, but it was 100% worth it. So if you're thinking about getting a tonsillectomy and whatever you're going through right now is tough, like yes, it's a hard 2-week process, but once you get through that healing process, it's 100% worth it. Like 2 weeks to live a better life for the rest of your life. Just take it if you can. But yeah, that was my experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too all over the place and it made sense. I hope if you are getting your tonsillectomy that this video helps you decide like if you want to get it or not, or if you're currently going through it. I hope this is giving you some encouragement that like it's not going to be terrible forever. Like they're right. Like day 5 through 10, one of those days is going to be your worst days, because day 9 was my worst day and it was terrible. But yeah, make sure to stay hydrated. If y'all have any like specific questions for me about this, you can just hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave that in the description below, or you could just leave a comment and I'll respond, because it's a tough thing to go through. So if you want like advice or like tips, like if you have specific questions about what I went through that I didn't mention, let me know and I will answer them, because I know how tough it is. I had questions that I wanted answered. Like I'm that girl that researches everything up all night on WebMD because I'm paranoid. So you want to know anything, let me know. I hope this video helps you out. But yeah, thanks for watching.